about secrets within families?
Oh, that's some deadly shit. Because I think families always find out. I mean, you can't spend that much time. I've been watching a lot of Dexter, so yeah, holy lies in the family. Damn. I think that I think that I remember the first time my dad lied to me. We were watching Batman, the first one, the Tim Burton one, and Jack Nicholson goes, "This town needs an enema," and I'm like 8 or 10 or something. I'm like, "Dad, what's an enema?" And he's like, "Oh, he misspoke. He meant an enemy." Yeah, an enemy. And something about him, like his delivery, I was like, "Holy shit, he just lied to me." Because he was too uncomfortable to tell me what it really was. It took me a while to figure out what it was. You know, this is way before Google. So when I found out what an enema was, I was like, that makes sense now. I wish he would have just told me it's washing out your butthole. But no, he ruined my trust in him. After that, like, really, everything he said had a question mark attached to it. I think a lot of people keep secrets. I think it's part of what keeps us lonely as a culture. We think that other people won't accept us for who we are if we tell them the truth about us. We tell them the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Being polyamorous, I've had to get really, really comfortable with the truth, and really, really comfortable with using my words and shaping it carefully. And it's my dishonesty has fucked some relationships for sure, because I wasn't strong enough, brave enough, courageous enough to say what was really going on or what I was really feeling. And every time I was honest, it always turned out right. Every time I lied, it was always a shit show. And so I just keep learning from that, I guess.
Is there a difference between a lie and a secret?
Lie and a secret. Well, yeah, definitely. A secret is a confidence kept between two people. I read once that two people can keep a secret if one of them is dead. And I've found that to be pretty true, especially depending on, how big of a secret it is. Are you lying if you don't tell somebody a secret? That depends on the relationship. If you don't tell your wife, that you were out bowling with the buddies, let me think. I could probably think of a better example than that. Let's just say, like, there's echelons of truth as far as secrets are concerned. You shouldn't have secrets from certain people. Like, if you have a best friend and you really trust them and you know them and you trust them to keep the secret, especially if it's about somebody they know, then yeah, that's probably somebody you're going to share a secret with. Is it lying if you don't tell them and they ask you? Yeah, but if they knew that you were lying to keep a secret, they would probably consider you, in the moral right, I guess. I think a lie is removing somebody's right to choose how they feel about something, whether by an act of omission or an active lie. You're telling that person, I'm gonna take this one for you. I'm gonna go ahead and make this call, and you can deal with it if you find out about it later, or hopefully I'm sly enough and you don't find out at all. I think that lying is a basis for our society in a lot of ways. I think a lot of marketing is based on lies. I mean, new cars don't make you feel better. Products don't make you feel better. But we're bombarded with approximately, if you live in a city, they say 3,000 images a day of shit telling you that you'll feel better if you do this or buy this or spend money on this. So lies are ubiquitous, but yet, in the context of relationships, they're so deadly. We give them so much power. When somebody destroys trust, it's a really hard thing to regain.
Do you think secrets have a value sometimes? Keeping them?
Not when it comes to governments. My roommate once got outed by my youngest son he was dating two women at the same time, and one of them came over, and Orion busts out with, "Hey Blake, where's Kim?" And the other girl is Tiffany, and she's like, "Huh?" And I was like, "All right, come here," and took her to the bedroom. I was like, sometimes there's certain things that not everybody needs to know. And he looks at me and he goes, "Well, I just think everybody should know everything." I was like, I can't argue with that. Really, in the context of everything, if everybody was being honest all the time, there'd be no need for secrets or lies. But then again, I mean, I don't know if I would want a world that is like the invention of lying. Did you see that movie? Oh God, it's awesome. It's got that British actor. He's what's his name? He's friends with Eddie Izzard and some other people. Anyways, this British actor, and he lives in a world where there's no lies, where people will tell you, "I'm sorry, I can't go out with you because you're short and not very attractive. I'm sorry, I have to go because this is no longer interesting to me." Where people are blatantly honest all the time. And this guy goes to a bank and realizes he doesn't have enough money in the bank, and he tells the teller he does, because there's no such thing as a lie. The teller believes him, right? So he starts figuring this out and starts, getting a head off of it. But in the end, his mom is dying in the hospital, and he makes up a lie about heaven and about Jesus, and a whole he creates religion with this one lie, and people overhear it, and they're like, "This guy knows where you go when you die. This guy knows what happens," and they start treating him like a messiah. And like the entire world is captivated by this one guy who knows what happens when you die. So, that's the power of lying, I guess. If we were all retards. So secrets in the family. What was the other question? I forget. I was riffing.
If secrets have a value.
If secrets have a value. Well, according to the U.S. government, they have a very high value. And that's what's really sad, is that they're willing to exchange human life for saving face. Because I think a lot of the files that were exposed by Snowden, that stuff needed to come out. There was, I mean, war crimes. I mean, fuck. Yeah, of course you're pissed. You got caught with your pants down. You're dicking the chicken. Lies. Do secrets have a value? Yeah, it's a relative value to the relationship that you have with the person and who wants to know it and how bad. So yes, I'm sure there's a lot of people in the world that make a very good living off of trading secrets.
What about more like just an intrinsic value? A value for the individual, not necessarily monetary value.
If they do, I think that it's a negative value, because keeping a secret means that you're lying to everybody except one or two people, whoever you told the secret to. I mean, maybe you're not telling the secret to anybody, but that's rare. I mean, usually there's somebody that you tell, somebody that you expect to keep it, or there's somebody that knows. I mean, unless you committed a crime and didn't tell anybody, that's a pretty shitty secret to keep, but you would probably keep it to yourself. I got sidetracked. So, that's what I wanted to say. Secrets are like a blanket lie. They except for usually those one or two close people, they're something you're never going to share with anybody, and they're a lie that you're going to have to keep keeping, because if somebody asks you about it and you're not going to tell them your secret, then you have to lie. It's just an equation. Secrets lead to lies, or denial of truth, or whatever you want to call it. You can't plead the fifth in life. It's either you tell the truth or you lie.
Yeah, it sounds like, from your perspective, secrets are often a pretty destructive thing, or at least have the potential to be very destructive.
I can't think of a good lie or a good secret to keep. You know, it a lot of times it's people not being able to face a part of themselves or not being brave enough to share that whole part of themselves with other people. I think that they lead to disconnectedness and loneliness probably, and certainly shame. If you're keeping a secret, it's because you're ashamed of something. You've done something shameful. So yeah.
What if it's like, I got you a present, but I'm not going to tell you what it is?
Okay, you win. Santa Claus can keep all the secrets in the world. Yeah, keeping your anniversary plans or your proposal plans a secret. Okay, but that's in a context of time. That's something that is going to come out. It's not something that's going to be kept forever. So I would say that's more delayed honesty. And for good cause, you know, for the greater good.
I like that term, delayed honesty.
You can use that.
Cool. Anything else you want to say?
The beautiful thing about being honest is that you can be dumb as fuck, because you don't need to. If you're telling the truth all the time, you don't have to remember what you've told people. You will always be faced with the same story from everybody that you come to, and people will always believe that you're being honest if you're always telling the truth. You don't have to be anybody else, and you can spend more time in the present, I think. It was actually a pastor in a church that told me this. He's like, I don't lie because I have a terrible memory. And lies simply are a mathematical equation that compound themselves. Once you tell one, you got to tell another one to cover up that one, and who did you tell that one to? And pretty soon it's a massive web that you can't possibly control. So that's why he tells the truth all the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got to say about that.